So, welcome again to Chris's Caribbean Delights. And after all the peeling and prep for the Metemgee, we're going to do some Metemgee. And the peeling and the prep, we're going to assemble, we're going to put this wonderful historic dish together. Metemgee is a dish from the slaves, and it's very historic. And today, being Emancipation Day in Guyana and almost all over the Caribbean, I decided to do some Metemgee. I did all that, and now we're going to assemble this dish. So let's go to those ingredients, and let me introduce you to the Metemgee that our ancestors enjoyed. So, from the garden, firstly, we're going to do some onions, red bell peppers, cilantro, garlic, lots of garlic, and we have some scallion and thyme. We're going to put all this into the pot and get it going, and we have some hot peppers, some wiri peppers that we're going to also use. And we're going to get this all sauteed in some oil and butter. And here we have yuca, or cassava as we call it, and you can see the carrots are in there. And also we have like the eddos, and we have sweet potatoes and yams, and a yam in there. So those are some ground provisions. And we also have some plantains that we're going to put in there. Salted codfish. The codfish is salted. I'm soaking it right now so that we can get some of the salt out of it. The pigtails, I pressured the pigtails to get them a little soft. And we have a corned beef that has been salted and boiled just to soften it, because we don't want all the salt in it. We had to take some of the salt out of there. So, and also the pigtails were salted. Fresh coconut milk is the best to use, but I don't have any fresh coconut milk. I went to the store, and the coconuts that were there were not good at all. So I resorted to two cans of coconut milk. And also we're gonna put some fish in there. We're gonna fry some fish to accompany this dish. Also, we have the plantains here. The plantains, we're going to use some green plantains and some semi-ripe plantains. We're going to just put some corn in there, for an additional treat. And so I have to cut this a little smaller. Corn and plantains, that's what's in here. So let's put this dish together. Let's get some oil heated. And get sauteing our vegetables. Now that my oil is heated, I get my sprigs of thyme in there. I know it looks like a lot of thyme, but you want to get that good flavor. Once the thyme has released its leaves and flavor, we're going to just fish the stalks out. We just let this go for a few minutes before we put anything else in there. Now I've added the bell peppers, the onions, and the garlic, and cilantro and some scallion. We just added some bouillon powder and some complete seasoning just to get that going. Get the flavors going here. translucent, and the bell peppers will get a little soft. So we're gonna just let this cook for a couple of minutes. Oh, I need the correct cover for this, right? This belongs over here. So we will give it 3 minutes and it'll be back. The onions and the bell peppers have become a little translucent, they're soft, and we can start fishing the thyme out of there. They've lost their leaves. Once it's lost its leaves, you can take the stalks out. The ones that still have leaves on them, you leave them in there. Let them go for a little more. Now we put our meats in there, the pigtails, the salted beef, put that in there. Let that start releasing its flavor. That can come out. Lost all the leaves. Now we add our coconut milk. I'm adding 3 cans of coconut milk because this is a very rich dish, and we're going to add 2 cans of water. So now we'll give this a stir, and what we need to do is taste it, and we know we need some seasoning here, so whatever seasonings you love, you just put it in there. I have some bouillon powder, put about 2 teaspoons of bouillon powder in there. I have this mushroom seasoning which I love to use. It's a little bit salty, so you have to be careful. So I would usually, I just start with a tablespoon. Here, one of my tablespoons. Tablespoon. And we'll get this stirred in. Here already. You see all the leaves from the thymes are floating up. Oh, wonderful. It's going to be a wonderful flavor. cool. Has a wonderful flavor already. Awesome. So once this coconut milk comes to a boil, we're going to start putting our veggies in there. Or the veggies and the, not the veggies, yeah, well, the yuca, the cassava, the yams and the eddos, and so that they can boil. So let's cover this again and let it start boiling. Since it's a multitasking dish, let's prep the fish for frying whilst the coconut milk is coming to a boil. We'll prep the fish for frying. Once we're boiling, we just get our root vegetables in there because these are going to take longer, and then we put in the plantains last. So let's get our root vegetables in there, the cassava and the eddos and the sweet potatoes, and get it all in there and let that start boiling. And I'm just gonna bring it back, bring it to a boil again, and we'll cover the pot and just let it boil. So while everything is going, we make the duff. And these are some soft, like a dumpling, it's a soft dumpling, but it has baking powder in it, so it puffs up. So we'll make the duff. 1.5. I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour in here, a pinch of salt, a tablespoon of brown sugar, and I'm putting now some baking powder. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. How are we going to give this a mix? We'll get some water and give this a mix. Oh, and we have some butter. Put some butter in there. All the ingredients are going to be in the description box below. Okay, so we'll get this all mixed up and I'll be back. So we have our fried fish going here. We'll put some eggs into the pot. We get an egg. It's usually served with a boiled egg, so you just drop the egg. You wash your eggs properly, and you drop them in there later. Right now I have my plantains in there. The plantains went in, the carrots, and they're all in there now. And we're going to simmer this for another 10 minutes because the ground provisions are already close to being soft and being ready. So just the plantains have to steam in there, and you'll get the duff dumplings, which I made. I'm going to just get these. You just make them into little balls. Just break off little pieces and drop them in there, and they'll puff up nicely. So I'll be back. And this is the codfish. We're going to put the codfish in there, just in a little. It's going to give it a wonderful flavor. I have my duffs in there already. They're steaming. I'm going to just put bits of codfish all over for that wonderful codfish flavor. Let's give it a stir. Okay. Don't stir too much because you're going to break up your duff here. So let that steam, and we'll be back. Don't forget to find a spot for your eggs and just submerge them a little. here we're going to take the fish out. I use the gray snapper. Just let them drain. Wonderful. Here we go, guys. The dish is finished. Metemgee, a wonderful Guyanese Metemgee. This is one of the dishes that our ancestors made in the past. And today being Emancipation Day, I said, let me recreate this dish with a few flavors. So we have some eggs in there, we have plantains, we have corn, we have the duff or the dumplings, we have some pigtails, some salt beef, and some codfish. We have everything in there, and then we're going to serve it up with a lovely fried gray snapper. So once again, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next clip. Bon appetit. Cheers. Let's do a taste test. First, I want to taste my duff. It's nice and soft. Good job, Chris. This is a piece of sweet potato. Plantain. The eggs are perfectly done. And my fried gray snapper. Awesome. Little piece of bone. What a fantastic dish. Coming from youngster. What a fantastic dish. Coming from our ancestors. And sometimes you used to wonder why your grandmother or mother gets up at 5 in the morning to start cooking. In order to get all these flavors together, it takes time, patience, and you can't rush it. But this Metemgee hits the spot, and I kicked it up a notch with some hot peppers, and added the corn to it, and the pigtails. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and finish this. I'll see you in the next clip.